Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60andMe. Today is Tuesday, it's October 18th. So welcome to a new day. I've got my cup of tea this morning, I'm drinking Earl Grey, and as I was drinking it, it just made me stop to think about all the women that are out there right now watching, and that you're all over the world, in different countries, different cities, and just how much I'd like to know more about you. You know, I just feel like we've got such a great group of women. I love your comments. I love the way that you engage with each other, that you talk to one another, and I'm just very proud to be part of this community, and also to thank you for being here again. And don't forget to tell a friend or tell your family to go up to 60andme.com/mornings, and then they can get the news first and join you. But anyway, thank you for being here. It's really important to me to have your support. So I'll bring you up to speed on a few things that are going on in our world, and share a story or two that I hope inspire you, make you feel good about the day. And also I've got a special gift for someone today. So stay tuned to the end and I'll give you all the details. But let's begin with some news. So in January 2017, the most powerful nation on earth is going to be electing a new leader. It's been a very interesting last few months. We've not covered it very much on 60andMe, but the time is drawing near now. On November the 8th is when the election takes place. And, you know, it's been a very controversial and intense few months of dialogue between the two candidates. They have both had their set of controversies. Donald Trump has had to deal with feedback about not releasing his taxes, his tax reports. Also his conversations, the tapes that were released of his fairly offensive comments to women. And you know, he's just been almost a new controversy every day. Hillary Clinton has also had her challenges. She's had to talk about her personal email accounts, about the activities of the Clinton Foundation, and also her support for her husband and his activities when he was impeached several years ago. So both of them have had their moments of controversy, and now in two debates they've talked about their policies, their economic, social plans, but as it's turned out, more to do with their personal attacks. So the final debate is tomorrow at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, and we'll see what they have to say. Now, I just really want to encourage you to, whoever you are supporting, to get out there and to vote. The registration for voting is coming to a close now in most states, so it's important that you get registered, and then on the day, no matter what happens between now and then in terms of what is said and the controversies that may arise, to just use your vote. And if you don't, we really can't complain, because this is the way that you can show that you're not invisible, that you are a woman with power, that you can control the outcome of this election, and it's an important one. So that's I wanted to cover that one today, because I think it's getting so close to the election now and very important. Now, in Nigeria, I just wanted to cover this. It's such a sweet story, of course. These 21 young girls that were released by Boko Haram came back to their villages to meet their family and friends. And it was just beautiful to watch them dancing in their beautiful, colorful outfits and talking about their experience. It sounds absolutely horrific. And also to know and remember that there are still almost 200 young girls still in captivity. And they all made a point to say how much they are praying for them and how much they hope they come home soon. And just keep our fingers crossed that this continues, and that the other girls are released and come home. In Iraq, just to give you an update there, the battle for Mosul started yesterday. The Iraqi government, with a number of different coalition parties, are on their way to take back Mosul from the Islamic State. They're expecting it to be a long battle, a long journey, but they did say today that they're moving faster than they expected, and it seems to be pretty well coordinated. There's a lot of dialogue going on in that part of the world about who should be involved in this offense on Mosul. Turkey has certainly made its view known that it's an area that's of importance to them. They have a huge border, with Iraq, and they want to be part of it. And we'll just see how this plays out. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I'm just hoping, honestly, that the people who live in Mosul, there's up to 1 million people still in the city, are not affected so much by the violence and the fighting that could go on right in the middle of a city. It's going to be an urban battle, which is something that we haven't really seen before. So that's the people of Mosul. Our hearts really go out to them. Hope that they're doing okay. Now, in space, just to remind you that there's so many groups doing various activities, getting astronauts into space. Yesterday, it was the Chinese, and yesterday also the European Space Project is interested in getting a lander onto Mars so that it can do some research as to whether life is possible on that planet. And so yesterday they released the lander on a space station that's been circling for 7 months, and it's now descending. It's left the mothership, and it's going off to now land on Mars and see what's there, what's on the red planet, and whether it's somewhere we could live. I think that's really fascinating. I'm super interested in space. I just think it's amazing that we have the technology to put people into space and potentially land them and start a colony on another planet. Just amazing. So now I'd like to change gears a little bit and talk about you and some of the things that I think might be on your mind. I found lots of articles as I look for good feel-good stories about 10 tips for being healthy, 8 tips for being happy. But I did find one yesterday. It was actually 12 things that happy people do differently. And I really was, when I read them, I thought I could resonate and relate to each one of them. So I thought I'll share them with you. There's 10, or there's 12, excuse me, and see if it makes any sense to you. I mean, happiness is such a, sort of a amorphous kind of a difficult thing to define, but let's try. Let's see what this article says. Happy people do differently. So first of all, they express gratitude. I think we've talked about this a lot, and it is simply being grateful for what you have. That makes you feel happy. Secondly, is to cultivate optimism. And this basically means to look at opportunities with a positive lens. Just be on the lookout for opportunities. Always see the goodness in a situation. Next is to avoid overthinking. And this is to basically, look at things with a very simplistic view and not to compare yourself to others, try to weigh up too many options, but just to see the positive and avoid thinking about it too much. Yes, work it out, but make a decision. The number 4 is to practice acts of kindness and to do it selflessly. It's easy to be kind, to volunteer, mentor, but to do it with a selfless attitude, I think is what they're saying here, makes people happy. Giving to others makes you happy. Next is to nurture deep and meaningful relationships. We talk about this all the time, that it's important to have friends and social connections. We've got lots of friends on Facebook, perhaps, but it's important to have deep and meaningful relationships. That's what makes a difference. The next thing is to develop healthy strategies for coping. Now, we've talked about different ways to cope with stress yesterday, in fact, but this is really to talk about dealing with it in a positive way, a healthy way. So rather than grabbing those cookies and dealing with stress that way, drink a smoothie or something healthy. Go for a walk. Do something positive and healthy to cope with stress. The next thing is to learn to forgive. I think that's pretty straightforward. Next is to increase flow experiences. Now, this is a really interesting one because yesterday we, in fact, talked about the brain and creating what are called marker memories. This is the same thing. It's basically creating experiences that are special, that make you remember them, that make you stop and say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's incredible. And then by doing that, you create a marker in your brain that slows down time and also makes you appreciate it and be happy. So they call them flow experiences. The next thing is to savor life's joys. Simple things, a cup of tea, just a flower that you notice, a new blossom, or that first foggy morning, or just small things that really make you happy about being alive. Next, number 10 is to commit to your goals. Now, it's okay to have lots of plans and ideas and goals, but you've got to act on them and commit to them. And that commitment, especially if you achieve it in small segments, is really a happiness booster. Then practice spirituality. Now, for people who have a faith, this is very straightforward. to think that, you know, you're part of a greater plan. But for everybody, we can just appreciate that the purpose in our lives is to fill a space, to become part of a greater whole, whatever you believe that to be. So practice spirituality. And then the final thing, number 12, is take care of your body. You know, we really believe in healthy aging here on 60andMe, and it's important that you eat well, exercise, do good things for your body. It's the only one you're going to get, so this is it. Treat it well. And all those things, apparently, if you do them, or this is how happy people live differently. So how many did you tick a box with? So you can also smile. That helps you to feel happy too. Now, I also want to talk to you about a woman who has been given an award. This is someone that's been with us most of our sort of adult lives, and she's now been awarded the 2016 Billboard Woman of the Year. This is a music magazine, so it's awarding her music accomplishments, and it is Madonna. Now, Madonna is obviously the epitome to me of reinvention. She has reinvented herself so many times, but you know, she's not afraid to go for things and to try new styles of singing and dancing. But the reason that they gave her this award was not only that, she is the highest earning woman singer who's on tour. So she's done lots and lots of tours and made herself very accessible to the public. And she's also done a lot to promote the empowerment of women, women's rights, and you know, that's another thing she's really stood out for. So they appreciated that. She encourages the conversation with women, and you know, basically, I think admits her flaws too. She's not perfect and has had lots of controversy in her life, but she's kept going. Now, the other thing that's great about Madonna is she has been very positive in helping other countries with philanthropy, giving money for the building of a hospital in Malawi, and it's going to be a pediatric hospital for children. She's also very pro-kids. So congratulations to Madonna. I think she's a great role model for many of us women. Some of you may not like her music, but I think as a woman, she's done well. So she's the Billboard 2016 Woman of the Year. Now, also, I love some of our actresses and musicians in their 60s because they have such a personality and character. And there's 3 women who are starting a Netflix program. It's an exclusive network show called Diva Nation. So there's Bette Midler, Diane Keaton, and Goldie Hawn. Now, Goldie Hawn is super funny. I love her. She's great. And someone asked her the question, so who's the biggest diva out of all of you? And she was so funny. This is what she said. I'll actually read it because I can't remember all the exact text, and it's so funny. She said, "Oh, gosh, honey, none of us are divas. We come from a different generation. We're workers. We might as well be on our hands and knees scrubbing the floor. We're mothers. We take care of things. We produce. We go on the road. A diva is only a diva if they're insecure. And we don't have any insecurities." And I just thought that was really sweet that it's true. I mean, these are women in their 60s who have lived through probably as much change as you and I have, and they've made it to the top. They've done well with their careers. They've worked hard. And as she says, you know, they're getting on with stuff, which I think is great. So that's our quote of the day from Goldie Hawn. And by the way, if you have any things you want to add to this, a favorite quote or just thoughts about the world, always feel free to put them in the comment section and, you know, and read each other's comments and like them. Let's share. Now, I want to give away something today. You know how much I love scarves. So this one today is a beautiful scarf. I love this one. This is a butterfly scarf. Now, I actually gave one of these away before in different colors, and everyone loved it. And it's quite a sheer scarf, so it's got beautiful, I can just show you, beautiful butterflies on it. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's one of those narrow and long scarves, so you can wear it in all kinds of ways. I just think it's really pretty, so I'm going to leave it right there. So that's a scarf for someone. If you would love it, just leave your comments in the section below, and I'll choose someone randomly, and then we'll get it off in the mail to you. Okay, so that's our butterfly scarf. Very pretty. Right, so I have a question for you, for our community, and I'd love to ask you to do something today that's a little bit different, that is going to help us to get to know each other a little bit better. So my question today is this. Can you just write down in the comment section below, you know, where you live, which country or city you live in, and tell us something about yourself. I think it'd be really great to get to know each other a little bit better, and just look for other people perhaps that are in your area, in your neighborhood. You might find someone that lives just down the street, and then you can connect and make contact. So just leave your comments in the section below. Leave the city or the country that you live in, and something about yourself that you'd like to share. So for example, I live in Switzerland, and I am passionate about all things Indian. And also, I am in the constant search for salted caramels. They are my favorite food. So just leave me where you live in the world and something about yourself, and we'll have a conversation and get started. So have a great day, everybody. Have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Bye-bye for now.